and welcome back to Celebrity with Nene. So I'm Nene, and today I have Sean and Johnny with me, and we're going to be doing a live recap of Life Life After Lockup. Okay, so we're recapping the newest episode. I had titled this one "Here Comes the Bride." I can't remember what the actual title of this episode was, so I just threw that on there. I felt like that was fitting for today. Alrighty, so I guess we'll just go ahead and jump right in and get started with the show. So our first couple was Tiffany and Kevin. Okay, so we see Tiffany is at Kevin's house. She finds some paintings that aren't hers. And so we see that she's on the phone with her girlfriend, and she's talking about how she found these paintings, and she knows good well he's not wearing them because of the size. So she knows that's not the case here. So he must be doing some things and being dishonest. Okay, so we see little man Kevin is a truck driver. So we do see that. I don't know why I wasn't expecting that. It caught me off guard. And so apparently he drives trucks. So we see him talking to his buddy, his fellow trucking buddy. And then and we see that Kayla is blowing up his phone. And, we didn't see him actually answer the phone or respond to her. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he is because she's just not still calling if he's not responding at all to her. All right, and so Tiffany, they go back to Tiffany at the house. So she packs up all of her things. She leaves the key and a note for him, right? And then she walks out the door. All righty, so Sean and Johnny, what were your thoughts on Kevin and Tiffany this week?
I I always jump. I think we jumped the gun too much. We don't know how long those panties have been in his drawer. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like, and he even said when he was talking to his friend that he hasn't really been dealing with anybody, and he hadn't been dealing with Kayla. She's just crazy, but he won't stop the crazy, which is I never understand that with men either, or some men. Sorry, Sean, some men. But I just don't understand why he's just like, no, yeah, we did create a profile. Because when he talked to her last week, he said, I don't know what you're talking about. Instead of just being like, yeah,
Right,
we did create a profile. Yeah, she's in the girls. I like that. Now I can actually sleep with two women at the same time and they ain't gonna have no problems. You know?
exactly. And that
Right.
was something I said last week. What he was doing was a prime example of what some men do. Sean, some men do. They say one thing, but then their actions is something completely different.
Yeah.
You know, so
I
it's
think
like you said, he should have just admitted, okay, you know what? Yes, we did create that profile. Just give her some kind of expectation, but instead you're saying no. So inadvertently, he may not even realize he's doing this. By you saying no, you're giving her some kind of hope.
right.
I think he do know.
Say that again, Sean.
I think he do know. I think he's doing it on purpose.
No.
Because
I
some
think
people,
he
like,
likes her in the background. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Because some people got to make sure that if this don't work out, I still got my plan B.
Yes, you're
Yeah.
playing B. Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
I personally think maybe she jumped the gun. I would have just okay. I would have made a mental note because I'm just that slow and calculated like that. I would have
Hmm.
made the mental note of the one pair, and then now that it's on my radar, I would start paying attention.
Hmm.
You know,
Some,
or I would go in the drawer while he's there. You know what I'm saying? Because he
Right.
probably don't even realize they're there. And then too, knowing how crazy Kayla is, I could actually see her breaking in his house and putting a pair of her underwear in the drawers anyway. So it's just too much.
uh,
And I just felt like she just jumped the gun too much. I would have slowed it a little bit and done a little more investigative work before leaving my key. Because in all honesty, she's kind of creating drama herself because she knows she's going to take them back.
Yeah.
And I think that's not setting the standard of what it is you really want.
Yeah, I do agree with you on that. But my other thing also, Kayla, if you're on Tinder to see to end up running across this profile, clearly you're trying to date. So you can't. And if I was Kevin, I probably would have called her out on it. Like, how are you gonna check me for being on an app that clearly you're on. And what are you doing on that app? You're trying to date somebody else. So why are you concerned with what I'm doing?
He did say that. He said something along the lines, "Oh, but you're on it though." Like
Oh,
how
I
else
didn't catch that part.
know? He did
Yeah.
show they showed that text where she said that and he said, "But you're on it though." Like explain why you're on it if you're not, you
Hmm.
know. But I didn't see her answer, but he did ask her.
Well,
Okay, I missed that part.
only thing she has to say is, "Oh, I was on it because a friend told me that they saw you," and then
Exactly.
so that right there would nip that. Well, it won't nip it in the bud, but that would be my answer. So that way he would know that I was still looking also.
My mouth would have instantly did like this.
Yeah.
Like, your friend. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, because we all have that friend, that friend, yeah.
You had this lucky friend that ran across my profile on
I know, right?
Yeah, and then they just called and they told me what you was up to. Because other than that, I'm at the house sitting here waiting on you to make up your
Hmm.
mind on whether or not you want to be faithful with me. But yeah, that's how I played that one. And
Yeah.
then too, I kind of like the idea because what Johnny said about come back later, pretend like you putting something up, and oh, what is this? See what his reaction would have been. I think she should have did that, or she should have just been up front. As soon as he came home and said, as soon as he walked in the door, have the paintings in the hand and saying, "Okay, now what's this?"
Yeah,
That,
and we all know she's gonna go back over there with them because some of the previews was a spoiler because we know they are actually going to discuss those pennies in person
So
from the club. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what I'm saying. You can't keep throwing your card out there like that because then he's always going to be like, oh, whatever. I just got to come up with an excuse. Uh,
hmm
do your
and so that
investigative
means to
work.
yeah, and so that means tonight it's okay to have Kayla over at the house because you ain't coming back.
Yeah. You
yeah,
left the door open because you basically broke up, quote unquote. You
Hmm.
created the break.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So right, so if he do be with Caleb tonight, then she can't be. Well, hey, we wasn't in a relationship, so
Right.
technically we're not together. So I didn't cheat on you. Or
Right.
he can say, I was just testing her out, a test run to see maybe that you might want
You know something, Sean? You know a lot of the excuses, huh?
uh,
You look a
oh,
little suspect to me today.
in my past life, I was very sneaky and cunning person.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay. In your
and
past.
cunning and deceitful, and that's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
help a lot of people get out. Oh well,
Oh.
unless you're looking out there looking for someone to help you all out, just give me a call.
Okay.
I can get
All
you out of
right.
anything. Get you out of anything.
Oh, okay. I got you, Sean. I got you. So, Johnny, do you have any more thoughts about Kevin and Tiffany?
No, I don't have anything else.
Okay. Well, we'll move right on to Taylor and Chance. All right, so the girls they have a father and daughter dance, and so I was about to call her Bobby, but Taylor she lets us know that Athena's dad is going to be there for Athena, and that Chance is going for the other two girls, which I do feel like that's a nice thing for him to do. I still am side eyeing this man, but I thought it was a nice gesture. So we see that Chance is working on the garage apartment. And then we see a scene of Athena and Bobby sitting on the couch. I guess they're playing with Bobby's dog. And she's asking Bobby, she's like, are y'all going to sleep out there tonight? And, Bobby's like, I don't know. Um, and then so Chance reveals the room to the others. And so you can see that Bobby and Taylor, they're not impressed with this room that he or this apartment that he has created. It's really he's not finished with that room, or at least I hope not. I
No.
hope to God not.
Yeah, I
That
hope
room, that apartment looks scary. It looks like an old cellar. I wouldn't be happy living there. But we see that the girls are not really impressed. And then we see Chance and the girls, they leave for the dance. And the sisters, they talk, right? And so Bobby, actually tells her sister how she's feeling, that she's feeling pushed out, and that the place is not complete and she hopes that he is going to complete it she's saying that she'll go out there. Which for me, I have the feeling that Bobby isn't. Because, I mean, for me, I probably would have been like, you know what, I'm not taking this room. I'm just going to move out. But I think Bobby, in a way, she is sticking around because she loves her nieces, but she's not going to leave them there where she can't keep an eye on them. I think she is probably one of her reasons for staying is so she'll be able to keep an eye on them. All right. And then they show clips of them at the dance. We don't see Athena's dad, but maybe he doesn't want to be on camera. I'm not for sure. I hope he did come, though. And so that was pretty much it this week. I did notice that Bobby, she actually stayed out in the garage that night. And so saw her grab some covers and she went ahead and laid on this couch. I don't know where Chance got the couch from. And he was talking about he was going to deep clean it and stuff. And she lays down on this couch. But I have a feeling that that room is cold because she was going to sleep with her boots on. I don't know if anyone else caught that she still had her boots on when she was going to bed. But yeah, so that was them. So, any thoughts on Taylor and Chance this week?
Well, I didn't notice the boots, but if she had the boots on, those boots are made for walking, and it's what she going to do. Well, that's what I would do. Now she had another place to stay. I wouldn't sleep in that garage um, because it depends on what the weather is outside. 9 times out of 10, it's the opposite on the inside. So if it is warm uh, out there, then it probably is cold inside. Oh, I got that wrong. Because I know with my garage, should be inside. Inside the house be nice and cool, but that garage be hot. And then during the summer, it is kind of cooler in the garage. But the thing that got me, and I put open quotations that he was building, because when it came on, I was like, "Is this the next day?" When he already had the conversation with her, and then he got the next day, he was building the wall, and the dance is the same day. But it's kind of then when they say a week had passed, and I was like, "Okay, that's all he did in a week." And I wouldn't have moved in until it was completely finished. That's another thing I would.
Right,
Um,
right.
yeah, because we talked about he sold them a pipe dream. Then I'd have waited till that pipe dream was at least a half of a pipe instead of a quarter. Because you got holes in the ceiling, like she said, you got nails in the wall. That kitchen, whatever kitchen, because all they had was a their big refrigerator that probably can hold 9 drinks. Uh, on
Coke
top of
cans.
yeah, uh-huh.
It
On top
looks like my beauty fridge.
yeah, half of the fridge that you get at a hotel at a motel. So that's
Right.
cool. No microwave because I didn't notice there was one. So if she wanted to eat, she couldn't warm up anything. And no door, so you got to open up the garage door to go in and out. Then he had a tower of AC units. Then on the other side of that, you had a bunch of clothes and stuff. And he left to go to a dance.
Yeah.
Uh, I would have went upstairs and I'd have slept in the house. But that's on that. I'd have slept in the house. I wouldn't have slept in there. And then he was complaining, talking about it's a lot of work for one man to do. Well, you the one that said you was going to do it.
Right.
So
Right.
don't talk about. And then too had the audacity to talk up there and say that, oh, this is better than places that I used to live. You was in prison. So to me, half the places out there is better than a prison cell. Or you can find a whole lot of places that's better than a prison cell because you have your freedom. In prison, you ain't got no freedom. So to me, that's right there is the first bad thing about prison. That would make another place look good.
Yeah.
But uh, I just don't. I feel for her because you sleeping on the sofa outside, and to me, I don't think he is going to finish the job because once you move
Yeah.
in, it's to me you accepted it. This is what it is.
Yeah. He's gonna be like, nah, I don't need to go out there and create a destruction area for her. And then, like, if I was her, I wouldn't have accepted it until it was completed. Because,
Right.
like you said, it's like you accepted it in that condition. What's going to be his motivation if he's been working on it for weeks, and this
Right.
is as far as he got.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
because I've put up walls before, and didn't look like he had any insulation inside the walls.
I'm
Uh,
sorry if y'all are hearing my dryer. I'm sorry.
okay, yeah, because I didn't see any insulation inside the wall, and
No,
then
it looked like he was just putting drywall up. There was no insulation that I saw, but I
yeah,
could have been wrong.
and then the sofa kind of looked dirty.
It did.
Now maybe it was the camera view or it's an off-white coloring, but that sofa didn't look clean to me.
Yeah, I wouldn't have left. I wouldn't have slept on that sofa.
No,
Yeah, so
not at all.
yeah, and it was funny about the kitchen when he said, "Okay, let me the big surprise," and I thought he built a dining. I thought he built a bedroom. Then when he opened up the door and it was just that, and I was like, "Yeah." Uh,
Hmm.
and you had blindfolded me to come
Oh,
outside the
that.
house to go.
Right. To see this.
You
Yeah,
should
I
have
was.
kept the blindfold on.
I was hoping what they were doing was piecemealing and showing what it was looking like, and when he had her, blindfolded to walk out, it was going to be totally different. You're going to be like, oh wow,
Yeah, I was
but
Yeah.
but
that's
it's
crazy.
yeah, that's from watching too many reality reveal shows.
HGTV, right. So I was expecting a big reveal, and it
Uh,
wasn't. Then I also thought that the garage was attached to the house for some reason, but I guess it's detached. So I don't know. I'm a scary person. I don't know that I would have wanted the
Yeah,
detached garage looking like that.
and it's a lot bigger than
Hmm.
I thought it was. It almost
yeah,
looks like it could be its own. It's actually big enough to be almost a two-bedroom if you wanted it to be if he would do it right.
Hmm.
But
yeah,
Yeah, it's a great size.
that's a huge garage that he had there. So
hmm
I really, I agree with you on that. She shouldn't have moved in, and the sister shouldn't have allowed her to move in.
Right.
no,
You know what I'm saying? She should have said, "No, this isn't fixed. You come back in the house until
right,
it's where I would want to sleep here.
Hmm.
Until you want your woman to sleep up in here, she
Right.
ain't sleeping up in here." You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
and especially being in a garage and having the top open like that, mm,
Hmm.
what would crawl in there, fall in there? Hell to the no.
yeah, she
That's
can't.
what I was thinking about when that door was just open like that. I was like, what if something runs in there? Hmm.
hmm And then too, I'm like, because he said she had said, well, Chance wants us to be together, have our own little space, and I was like, okay, they're married, and they're like, no,
Yeah.
it's engaged. So
Then he needs to provide that for y'all.
right, right, or let your sister stay in the house until y'all do get married.
Until you do get married. I mean, in all honesty, I just think that the sister shouldn't have allowed her sister to move in there and should have waited. I mean, if this is really going to take you, you know what? Because you want it so bad, it's not like I want my sister out in the garage, but you want this so bad, make that a place decent.
Right.
That is not a decent place to stay.
Yeah. Also, she should say too, you live down there.
Yeah,
Right.
You finish, you live, and then you fix it up, and then my sister come in, and we can have our own little privacy down there in your little man little cave until it's finished, and then we move my sister in.
yeah,
Right.
But
Yeah.
for him, he probably wouldn't give it up then. He'll make that thing look nice and be like, "Nah, your sister can't stay here. She need to
yeah.
move."
This will be our place.
All right. Leave your sister with the kids, and then me and you.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Your
Actually,
kids.
that's a good idea. Put Chance out there.
I know. Create your own boom boom room.
Yes. Y'all can wild out there.
Have
You
all
know, without
kinds of
the kids.
fun.
Mhm.
But then again, with his standards, he probably just go get a mattress from off the corner and put it on the floor and say, "Hey, let's get it on."
Yeah, because that couch
Oh,
looked like
bro.
something he probably picked up off the side of the road somewhere.
Uh-huh.
Like, where'd he get that couch from?
Mhm.
That was just my thought on it. All
Mhm.
right, so I guess we'll go on to Lindsay and Deontay. Okay, and so the scene opens up where Lindsay is still sitting outside of where she was supposed to have her job interview, and so we see that she's headed to the jail. but she's determined to get is I think his name was TC out of jail. Okay, so finally she actually finds someone who can bail the guy out. So they meet up at a gas station. She gives the guy the money, and and the guy leaves, and he comes back and he gives her back her money and says that he couldn't bail him out. They're gonna have to try again the next day or whatever, because the bail bondsman was closed or something. And so Deontay ended up calling her while they were sitting outside of the gas station, just kind of talking. And she tells Deontay what she's been up to. That basically she was trying to get a friend out of jail. And Deontay is like, "Leave him there. Like, why is this your problem?" And so she also ends up telling him like how much money she was spending to get him out. And Deontay's like, "Do you have that type of money? Like, what's going on?" And I get that because if I was Deontay, I'd be like, do you have $800? Like, you've been in prison. It's gonna click on me like, what is going on here? How did you get $800? And so, he basically lets her know that he's not really happy about the choices that she's making right now, especially with her just getting out. And so, her friend, the guy that she's sitting in the car with, I don't know why. Last week I couldn't even remember what his name was. Um, he starts talking to her, but he's helping her. Like he hears what Deontay is saying, and he's like, you got to start thinking about your daughter and think about other things other than just trying to help a friend out. And he was like, you got to think about the kids. And so then he starts talking about a little bit about his experience with his kids, and he gets emotional and starts crying to the point that Lindsay, she had to comfort him. She hugged him and comforted him. He looked like he was shaking a little bit as she was comforting him. So I was like, okay, I guess he's crying hard because he's got a little shake going on. And so that was it. Well, no. Let me not say that because we also go and see Lindsay reunites with her daughter for a little bit. So they're at a park. They're like playing basketball, playing ball together, and they start talking and stuff. And her daughter's like, she's hoping that Lindsay will stay out this time, and will do what she needs to do and stuff. And I can understand their bonding. I like their little bonding thing. For me, it all kind of changed when she was like, "Hey, guess what? I'm dating somebody new. Let's not talk about that right now. You are already reuniting with your daughter. Let's keep the conversation about you and her and y'all's future." But she did start talking about Deontay and showed the girl a picture of him. And the girl's like, so I don't know if she felt like Deontay was a handsome man or I don't know. I don't really know what was going on. And so her mom shows back up to pick up her daughter. And so, she says to her mom's like, "Hey, can we talk for a minute?" And so she gets out the car and talks to Lindsay. And so Lindsay basically starts asking her for forgiveness for the things that she's done. And, her mom is like, you need to seek forgiveness from God first, and you could tell her mom has been through it with her. Um, I think it was last season, or either it was the season that Lindsay was not last season, it was the season that Lindsay was on. Her mom was like, "I'm old. I don't want to raise a 10-year-old girl." And so she's clearly Miley's older than 10 now, but she's still raising her. So she's probably tired and wants a break. And I just hope that Lindsay gets everything together so that she can start taking care of her own daughter. So how about you guys? Thoughts on Sean? I'm sorry. Things I can't
Um,
get it together today. What are your thoughts on Lindsay and Deontay this week?
uh, well, kudos to Deontay for not giving Lindsay money.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was pretty cool. So it was interesting because at first I was sitting there thinking he was going to say, "That's the money I gave her to get out of prison." And
Right.
he didn't. He said he hadn't been giving her money. So kudos to Deontay
Mm-hmm.
um, for, trying to really figure out if this girl likes him or not,
Uh-huh.
and not for all the money or things he can do for her.
Right.
As far as the whole daughter conversation goes, I guess she has been in her daughter a little bit more than Branlin had been in her daughter's life.
Mhm.
So uh, I think it is one of those things where she sees her daughter and realizes how much time she allowed to go by being in jail, and maybe she will do better and not make these decisions again. And you can tell her mom is tired of her shenanigans because
Yeah.
I mean, if I had, well, I don't know, having not seen my daughter for 18 months, I would think I'd probably get out the car and give her a hug. She would have had to ask me, but that really wasn't the case with her. She had to ask her to get out the car and let them talk. And then she didn't really even want to hug her. So all of that was kind of, I don't know her history. And then she had exposed her daughter to the whole craziness of Sean. So that was his name, right?
No, his name was oh
Now
my
look here,
gosh.
now.
Scott was,
Scott.
Every
Yeah.
Sean, every
I'm
Sean
sorry.
is not
No, no,
crazy.
no. I knew it wasn't you, but I just
Just
knew it started with
75,
an S.
just, just 95% of them are. Just 95, not every
Look,
Sean.
any chance to
Yeah,
play the victim.
I know, right? I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Sean. Um, but with Scott, so her daughter must have been a part of that too. And that's a lot for a 9-year-old, 10-year-old to process. So for that to be your first focus when you come and see her to share you're dating someone else that you met while you were in jail, knowing the history that she went through with the other guy. Yeah, I think I would have waited on that. I wouldn't have pushed
Mm.
that on her so soon. I just would have really made it about her,
Yeah.
your daughter, your 12-year-old. Like, I mean, they're not 12, they're just not that age forever.
Right.
And I liked watching them play basketball together. I thought that was cool. Um, but just make up for lost time. You can't get that time back. So you've got to spend more time and focus
Right.
on just her.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, all that is true, what you said, but while you were saying it, I was thinking, Deontay is on her way.
He
Hmm.
is.
Yeah,
So,
12 hours. I think he said he
Yep.
drives
He
straight
said he was
there.
gonna drive us 12 hours to get to her.
yeah, so yeah, she ruined the moment with her daughter by bringing up Deontay, but Deontay's on the way, and you ain't giving your daughter the opportunity to get to at least know the guy or know her herself,
Mhm.
daughter mother daughter relationship to grow before you introduce her to another man after the last guy was a jerk. Um, but I also was thinking about the car when he said the kids about the kids. What came to mind because I don't know if he was saying it and that's why the song came to my mind, but it was like the song Whitney Houston song, "The Kids Are the Future,"
Uh-huh.
teaching.
Oh.
Yeah, so I was like, man, why did that song come to mind? Why they talk about the children? But yeah, so she needs to do better for her children, and the friend is right in telling her, let go of your past. You got to move on. You got to move on. And the
Right.
funny or ironic thing was, the man still wound up spending the night in jail. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and you have no
And
job.
she lost out on her job opportunity.
So, and two wasn't thinking because after the show was over with, was thinking about it, and she said that it's 20 minutes from where they at. Though they had to get to the Bell's place by in 20 minutes. She had to find somebody to get there to sign the thing. So the time it would took for her to find someone and then get there, 20 minutes would have been up. The thing would have been closed anyway. So they should have did that math and then
Hmm.
she should have went in there and got her job. And then the next day, after the friend spent the time in jail, then go talk to the man, bail him out and talk to him and all that type of stuff. But yeah, she got to really put her child's uh, life first and
Hmm.
put her stuff on hold because as parents we have to sacrifice stuff for our children, and sometimes you might have to sacrifice a relationship, sometimes you might have to sacrifice a job, But you have to make some sacrifices to be in your child's life. And then also, on the other hand, children, they need to understand. But kids just don't understand. Talk about Fresh Prince. Their parents don't understand. No, children just don't understand. You
Hmm.
know the sacrifices that we have to make. So they
Right.
need to grow up sometimes too and understand sometimes we can't make those sacrifices. But in this case, she needs to uh, do sacrifice her friendships so that she can have a better relationship with her daughter. And if she's gonna want to have a successful relationship with Deontay, she's gonna have to sacrifice some of those people as well. Because as the friend did his confession, he was talking about, oh, Dante ain't ready for all of this, and he ain't gonna be ready for his woman to get a phone call in the middle of the night saying, "Hey, Joe is in jail. Can you?" Well, they didn't ask to bail him out. She just took on the responsibility to do it herself. So and then because they know that she would do it, so that's why they call her. So and if you're in a
Mm-hmm.
relationship with your man, Deontay ain't gonna want to hear all that. Especially
No.
the problems
Yeah.
that he had with the other two.
And I feel like most men on the straight and narrow are not going to deal with that nor understand that.
Right. And then the whole money thing, because I didn't think about that. About yeah, Deontay probably would have been like, "Oh, that's the money I gave." So yeah, I give kudos to Deontay too that he didn't give her no money. But I'm thinking he thanked that he got something because she haven't asked him for any money.
Yeah.
So at least he knows she don't want it for the money as
Right.
of now. So so that's why he probably figured, hey, I hit the jackpot on this one.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
so he probably glad that she had $800 sitting on the side. So in his mind, he probably thinking that, well, at least I would be thinking that, okay, she got money, so she don't
Yeah.
need
Yeah.
me.
She's financially okay.
Yeah. So and
And
hopefully,
she's actually a decent looking girl.
yes, she
Yeah.
is.
She's
And then
not.
too, because last week when he had said something, I wanted to comment on that, and because I thought about it, so I was like, yeah, she do sound cute. That Southern twine.
Hmm.
So,
Yeah.
so
He said he was going to get his Southern Belle. I was
yeah.
Yeah.
like, okay.
But ain't he in the
If I
South
was,
too? Isn't
no,
Virginia considered the South?
I think some people
Yeah,
consider it the South and some people don't.
yeah,
Um,
it depends on who you
yeah, I
ask.
think it's just depends on I think where you are if you
Mhm.
consider it the South or not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because the way I consider the South is anyone that fought in the Civil War on the South Side, to me that's the South. That's how I always look at it. And I believe Virginia fought on the North Side, so they
Oh,
Yankees in my eyesight.
interesting.
So
Hmm.
Because that's where the Love case was passed, right? Isn't that where they lived? Was Virginia? The Loves, the
I,
interracial couple.
I'm never sure where they lived at.
I thought they lived in Virginia, and they couldn't. They weren't supposed to be married.
Hmm.
I thought it was Virginia. So that's
yeah.
why I'm like, it's funny when they say that because I thought Virginia was just as strict with their ignorance
Oh,
as as the South,
they
as the
were,
South.
yeah, yeah, they were. They just was able to fight on they went with the North Side. But during the Civil War, they was able to keep the slaves because they wasn't part of the Confederacy. So they still
Ah,
keep all of their laws intact as
they
far as
play. Okay, so they
right,
just played their role. Got it.
right. Because
Because
of
I
the
know,
emancipation was
yeah, because I know Virginia has a very different. Like I know they call themselves the Commonwealth of Virginia, where it's
uh,
almost like they are a little bit. I don't know how to describe it. I'm trying to say. Um, I know they have some rules and some laws that are different, kind of like they managed to be able to produce laws and different things that are not necessarily always connected with the other states of the United States because something I know they call themselves the Virginia Commonwealth or the Commonwealth of Virginia, something like that.
mhm,
Mm,
the Commonwealth. Yeah.
absolutely. All right, so our next couple is Marcelino and Brittany. Alrighty, so we see that Marcelino is not answering Brittany's calls. We see that she just put the kids to bed and she calls one of her friends and she's like, hey, he's not answering calls or anything for me. So he comes home and they start talking. And so she gets up and is like, give me your phone. And so she gets his phone and goes into the kitchen and starts going through the phone. So when she goes through it, she sees that he's been watching porn and looking at pictures of naked women. And so then she starts, and um she lets it bother her, and she's like, oh, you'd rather look at them than me, and and all of this other stuff. And she's upset, saying that they don't have sex the way they used to. She's saying they used to have sex like every day, and now he just want to touch her. And then they show that they go to therapy. Marcelino is not even remotely acting like he's into this therapy session at all. You can tell he doesn't want to be there. um so they talk about the fact that now he's a stay-at-home dad, so she can have her career. And she's upset that it's like he's resentful that he's a stay-at-home dad. um but my thing is, just let him go back to work if he needs, because he does say he's like he's used to providing, putting food on the table and all that other stuff. Let him go back to work and do that. But I don't know. All right, so it's obvious that he's resentful that she's working, and that things got worse after the threesome. Now she says that like in a confessional, um, about the threesome, but she does kind of keep saying things where if I was a therapist, I think I would have asked like, what is it exactly? Tell me the moment that this changed, because it's like she's alluding to it, but she's not saying it in the therapy session. So, what are your thoughts on Brittany and Marcelino this week?
Yeah, my because the way he was in the therapy office, the therapist was talking, and he just was zoomed, like he wasn't there. He was there, but you can see it in his eyes that he just wasn't there. So to me, he was just there to be there, just to say that he was there, or to say he tried. But the pornography, looking at the pornography and looking at the naked women um, thing, because yeah, she feel the way she feel because that's the way she feel, and I can understand um, why she would feel like she's being well, why she feel bad or neglected or uh, not appreciated or not loved. And then when you see him looking at other women, and women probably different shapes, different sizes, or different from her, and then now that adds to her what is it, low self esteem, and that just makes her feel even worse because she's like, "This what you into now, and I don't look like this here," and that just add more to it, make her feel even worse than what she's feeling. Now the problems that they were having, and she trying to make it seem like it was happening before the threesome. I think it probably started during the threesome, after the threesome, because before the threesome, we haven't seen. The only problem that I saw with them is the whole money thing, which they haven't even explained that. What happened to that money? What happened to the property? If they did, I must have missed it. And then so he put up with that, all of that, and they was able to work through that. Not saying that she needs to put up with his foolishness because she put up with hers, but what's going? Oh, okay, yeah. So she don't have to put up with the stuff that he's doing because he needs to. I don't know with him because at first in the beginning I felt for him, but now I'm starting to be like, oh, okay, dude, I just can't agree with you because one, you're not expressing yourself to her, letting her know what's going on, and then maybe y'all can work throughout the situation because you got to have communication if you're going to work through something. So she don't know how you feel about what you feel. And if you have a problem with the threesome and how everything had took place in the threesome, then you need to express to her. Or on the other hand, be like, well, yeah, I was looking at the porn because I was trying to check out some new moves that we can try in the next threesome. And I was looking at the girls because this is one of the girls I would like to add. Since you picked the last one, I want to pick one of these.
Something else that I found interesting
Uh,
is that when he's in his confessionals, he has revealed she was doing too much during the threesome, and that, oh, she was I guess basically paying more attention to the girl than to him, and he felt like she wasn't into him, but he won't say that to her.
Uh-huh.
I found that in.
So he needs to say all that to her, and then they can go from there, start all over from there. But as far as, well, at least he's not out there cheating, you know. So I guess you can say at least that. But technically, he's doing all the other stuff. In her mind, she's like, you ain't giving me this attention, and she do want attention. So he needs to, hopefully, as therapy goes, that he will continue to go, and maybe he will open up, and then they can come together and open up and share. Because, like I said, I don't believe in therapy. I don't like therapy because I tried that once before, and with my relationship, and I was the bad guy. So since that was the case, I don't I don't like therapists. So, but I'm say it's not for everybody, but I'm not going to tell people not to go. So if you're going and you need it, then go. But if you're going to go, you need to participate. Don't just go and stand there like a statue because
Mm.
it's not going to work. So you have to add your side of the story. And if you do run across something, what I should have done was seeing how I was the bad guy. I should have went and found someone else, and then we all should have came together and we could have worked it out. But again, uh, that was on my part. But if you feel like you're a victim in your therapist, and it's like the therapist just one sided, go find somebody else, and then maybe y'all can work that out too, also. But you have to communicate in the session and out of the session because she don't know what he's thinking. So, but I didn't catch one thing. The phone. She had asked for the phone, and he gave it to her, or she just took the phone
No, she asked for it
and he gave it to her.
and he gave it to her.
Oh, okay then. So he wanted her to see it. So because at least he didn't try to hide it and be like no. So he was open and he gave it to her to see. So, but yeah, open up. He has to open up in order for it to work. If that's what he wants, and if it's not what he wants, then he needs to open up and let her know so that they can move on and not grow to hate one another because they still have 3 kids together that they need to be able to be there for one another. So yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Like when you said to go to counseling, you have to participate. You can't just sit there, and that's a safe space, quote unquote, for you to say how you feel. Like he should have said in that moment, I felt you enjoyed her more than me. Uh, I didn't know how to handle that. And I don't remember if is she bi, or was she into women and then decided to be with a man? Like,
Yeah, she's bi.
okay. So I guess for him, it's kind of nerve wracking to know that he actually isn't only competing with men, but he's competing with women too, and watching her have more fun. I guess maybe she did more exploratory things with her than she did with him. Just kind of messed his head up. His head's just messed up. I
But
think
you know
between losing
what?
all the money.
Yeah. Now, something that I find, I guess I shouldn't say funny, but ironic, both of them feel like the other one doesn't want them.
Hmm.
So I'm like, if y'all would just talk and communicate, you could figure that out, and then that would be an easy fix. You both know, okay, look, I need to start showing her, I need to start showing him.
Well, she also said, well, he said it's hard for him to talk to her because she gets so emotional. And maybe he just can't handle her, all the tears and all. Maybe she yells, maybe she screams.
Mm.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it is lack of communication there, and they really need to just hash it out, talk it out. And they have way more problems than just the whole sex thing. They have the money stuff. They have the idea that he used to be a provider, he isn't now. He's There's a lot broken in that relationship right now that they have to figure out. Maybe he realizes he can't be a stay-at-home dad. And then if they're both making money, I really don't understand why they don't have them in school. So I'm just kind of confused with all of that as well. I get it's expensive, but if you both want to work, then I guess you need to find a nanny.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So,
because he can just work and his money can go straight to daycare.
Exactly.
Since
yeah.
you get out.
Exactly. I mean, that's just how it goes. Who says? I guess that's the new thing. Maybe one's supposed to work from home and one's supposed to stay. I mean, work, and then the other one's supposed to stay home.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
just
because I got people that I know. The wife, she has a nice job, and the father, not the yet the husband, which is the father still. He he was working, and yeah, decent pay, but I think she was making like twice the amount of money he was making. And they figured that if he stay home, he can watch the kids and do the daycare and all that type of stuff, and they can save money that way. But to me, you got to have that mind that you as a man, you have to be willing to be able to stay home and to be a stay at home dad,
Mhm.
and,
right.
And yeah.
yeah, and you have to not only because you have to deal with society coming at you saying that you're a bum. Because technically, when a man, well, I feel that when a man is a stay home dad, it's more like he's lazy. Um, he's no good, as a man, so he rather have his woman working. He rather just stay home and do nothing. He's no good.
Yeah. And I think part of why she went back to work, now I'm just speculating, I don't know, but I do know that she's had her real estate license for a while now. Because I remember they had did like a special, and she had said how she has a problem getting jobs because of her record.
Uh-huh.
And so she decided to go into real estate. And so maybe, she's been sitting on this license and now she's like, let me work. I can make some pretty good money. You quit and I'd be able to support the family, maybe. I don't know. But I can imagine that was probably one of the conversations,
Yeah.
maybe.
Cause
But
my thing that was gonna be what 75,000 she would have made.
mm-hmm,
Yeah, for just showing off a house. I know it got all the paperwork and all that stuff you got to do with it, but technically you're just showing off a house, and you made 75,000 on one sale. I personally, I'd suck up my pride and be like, "Yeah, boy, I need to change your diaper. Come on back here." Because one house 75,000, and one day or 1 week 75,000. That's a lot of money to be
That
just
is.
wasted, thrown away
Yeah.
because your ego and your pride, or
yeah.
you hurt and all that type of stuff.
But that's
Because
where it's,
Mhm.
yeah, that's that toxic masculinity. I mean, it's totally okay to be masculine. I love a masculine man, but not when it's toxic to the
uh,
point where
Mm-hmm.
you make me feel bad because I've made this. And that's
right.
where I choose to be. But I would think he looks like you said he worked in the casino. So I don't really know how much casino men make or casino workers make. So I don't know how that goes, but
No, it ain't no
never be
75,000 in
toxic.
1 week.
I know, right? You should never be toxic enough or let it challenge you enough that you just missed bank. Like, that's the difference. Be man enough to say, oh, well, if she's going to make that kind of money, maybe I need to look into seeing what I can do to make more or match her.
Yeah,
Like, sit there and, well, since she's making that, I'm just going to ruin it for her. Like, who does that? That's not manly. That's toxic. And
hmm,
that's where the toxic masculinity can mess you up too.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Because you're
So
right, but match it. Find something to match it. Or
yeah,
if
go educate yourself and find something that can do that. Go be in the computer world. Go do cybersecurity. There's
if
so
not,
many things you could do.
go
It
get
might
a.
not be 75,000 a week, but hey, it'll get you a good high monthly amount.
It'll
Mhm.
get you that pride to be able to pay for the things that you want to pay for. To putting the food on the table and clothes on their backs. It's like
Exactly.
you're still providing, you're assisting her to be able to do that for y'all. You
Yeah,
don't necessarily have to do that.
but
Yeah,
that's not how he sees it.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then too, I think also it goes along with the hurt because of her in the bedroom thing. So that added to his
His masculinity.
toxic, his
Yeah,
toxic, yeah.
yeah.
Because I think is this the people you were saying last week that you wouldn't be stroking his ego.
Yeah, that's the hard
Egos.
part.
Yeah.
How am I supposed to stroke your ego like that? I can't do it. I don't
Yeah.
have the patience to do that. But
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying. Like and that's what she doesn't do. And I know he didn't thank her, but it's because he feels like he's made this sacrifice and you're not thanking him for the sacrifice. And then you bring a woman in my bedroom and you still ain't thanking me. You giving her more action than me. So
Mhm.
I think you think about all the double standards that he's holding in his head.
Right.
And that's why he is the way he is. I mean, it all makes sense.
Right.
It totally makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree with you on there. Alrighty. So our next couple was Sean and Sarah. All right. So the scene opens up where they're talking and she's expressing concerns about his family. Like, does your family like me? How do they feel about me? Blah 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 blah. My issue with this, the conversation was, this is 5 days before your wedding. Sis, you're a bit late with this. If you wanted to have a relationship with his family, you should have been expressed yourself or tried to reach out to these people or whatever. But to wait 5 days and all of a sudden you're concerned because they don't know about you, don't know who you are, like, sis, you waiting too long. But hey, that's what she goes with. So he tells her that Kelly is coming so that the kids can come down. She is upset. She starts screaming. It, so I just feel like the way she was presenting things, like, I can kind of understand some of the points that she was making, some, not all of them. But I could understand some of the points that she was making, but it was like she was coming off very much like, well, no, Kelly is jealous of me because I'm getting married and I'm getting married and I'm getting married. No, let's talk about something different here. Because all of this, I don't believe, is necessarily just because Kelly is jealous of you. Technically, Kelly has never seen you to even be jealous of you about anything. Um, And so we then see her go off, and she's hanging out with Sean's sister. They go to like a spa. They're getting their feet done, and she's talking with the sis, and there she goes, bringing up Kelly again. I'm like, sis, when are you gonna stop When are you gonna stop worrying about his exes? Just knock it off. I can't imagine myself being on TV and I'm talking about my man's exes in the manner that I am. I don't care. His ex, I don't care about her. I don't care how long they've been together. I don't care if he was engaged to her 20 times. I just don't care. And I'm not going to be on TV showing that I care and that I'm this involved in my man and the man that's going to marry me in a couple of days. I'm getting married. I'm not going to be obsessed with his ex because that's the way it's coming off at this point. I don't even, it's like, but why? I don't understand the conversations. And so then we see him talking on the phone, which kind of threw me off because when he's talking on the phone with Kelly, he invites Kelly to come there. I'm not going to say he invited her to the wedding because that's not what it seemed like he was inviting her to, but the wedding is in 5 days, so I don't know what that was all about. But he actually invites Kelly there. And the way they set the scenes up, it looks like he had that talk with Sarah, and then he knew Sarah didn't want Kelly there, and then he went back and invited Kelly. So that's something I was confused about. I was like, are we going in chronological order here, or did they put this scene further away? I don't know. But then we also see a scene from next week where, okay, let me say it like this. Sean said he has changed his phone number several times, and Destiny keeps getting the phone number. So she keeps getting the phone number and keeps calling him. And then we see a scene where Destiny is talking to, I guess, a friend, and she's like, should I crash this wedding? How does Destiny know where this wedding is going to be? I don't know. So I want to hear y'all's thoughts on Sean and John, from Sean and Johnny. What are your thoughts on Sean and Sarah? My thoughts? Okay.
Okay. There's a couple of things with this whole situation. He wants his kids there. She won't allow her kids to go unless she goes. And this is where I disagree with that. Okay, you want to go, that's fine, but he shouldn't have to pay for you to go.
No.
I don't agree with that. He should be
Yeah,
paying
so
for
I
his
do
kids
agree with
to
that. She
get
should
there,
pay.
not
Now, should
her.
he help her out with the children's tickets? Absolutely. But I don't think he needs to be paying for her ticket to go.
No, he shouldn't be paying. You're the one who's requiring that you're there, not his kids. Um, and then she did ask him for money. He sent it to her. Um, she's out of pocket, and I think that's where what's her name's what's her name? What's
Sarah?
the little redhead's name?
Sarah?
Yeah. Sarah, I think that's where Sarah is like confused about because she is out of pocket. She sat there and told him he needed to get fixed, but he didn't need to get fixed when he was getting you pregnant 6 times. Um, he told her she's out of pocket and he won't put her in her place to let her know you're just the mother of my kids. I want my kids at these events. My kids, my kids, my kids. He still allows her to talk to him like they're friends, and they're not friends. And I think that's where Sarah gets upset because she keeps telling him that he needs to put his foot down, and he won't. And then as far as the sister goes, I mean, we don't know why he took so long to have the family come out. He didn't even tell them she was pregnant. Some of that communication is his fault, not necessarily hers. I don't know how much I would push to meet your family if you're not having your family come out till right before the wedding. But I wouldn't necessarily care if they like you or not anyway, because I'm not marrying them, I'm marrying you. So their whole situation was just weird too. It's all happened too fast. And then that whoever that other girl is, I wonder if he is giving her the information
Yeah.
just for drama because it does seem weird if he's saying it because he's also like is it Kevin
Mm-hmm.
Arlington where he isn't very clear when he communicates with people, but he also lets you know on the back end that he's being sneaky. And
Right.
he doesn't seem to be being sneaky with old girl, the other
Mm-mm.
one. So it will be interesting to see how she does know all this stuff. And why does she care? Why does she even want to be a part of all that anyway? That's just too much.
You're talking about Destiny?
Yeah.
Well, in Destiny's eyes, Sean is her trick. So the thing is, he doesn't owe you anything. Y'all's relationship is over. Leave him alone. But at the same token, if he's stringing her along, if you want to say, then all of this is his fault because he cut this off. Like you could truly change your number and not give it to her. Because clearly you've got to be giving it to her. You've got to be reaching out to her. Because how is she getting that number? How does she know where your wedding is unless you told her? Or I don't know, maybe they got a registry online, maybe,
Yeah, maybe it's
but I
connected.
don't know. But my thing is, for Destiny to have just gotten out of prison, she has way too much information.
Right.
But are they connected another way?
How isn't she
Is
getting
she
his phone
connected
number?
with anybody else that he knows?
I don't know, but I would like to think if somebody is stalking me to the point I got to change my number, my friends know, like, hey, I know you know Sean. No, I may be talking to you, Johnny. I know you know Sean. Sean is stalking me. I'm changing my number because of Sean. If Sean reached out to you, would you give him my number? So I
No,
don't know.
I don't do that.
Yes, she would give it to me. What's she playing?
I
I
don't
don't.
play those games. Pulling phone numbers.
I would whine and dine and be like, "Hey, you know what? I girl, I forgot Nene number. You think you can give
That
it to
out,
me?
and I'd be like, "Oh, you did? Hold on one second. Hey, Nene, is it okay if I give Sean your number?"
No, no, you ain't got the call. You ain't got the call.
No, no,
I
no.
call him. I
I don't
call
do that. And I've been, and people have looked at me crazy when they're like,
him.
"Oh, you're not gonna give me their number? Nope, not until I find out it's okay."
Mm-mm. I'm
I
telling you,
don't
it's
pass out
okay.
people's numbers like that.
Uh,
Right.
mm-mm. I'm telling you,
I don't know.
okay.
But
I'm
who
not gonna.
knows what kind of friends he got, maybe. But I need some more explanation. I want to see some proof that you, well, I I just,
Mhm.
I just feel like he is just making her out to be the stalker. But I'm like, you've got to be talking to, you've got to be possibly giving her the new number or whatever. I don't know because I don't know. It's too fishy to me.
It's just as sneaky as we is. I would think that they would have shown that he's doing it.
Showing him doing.
Yeah, they would have shown that he's calling her or that he's giving it out. They are
Yeah,
sneaky. There's like a bad echo, and it's kind of driving me crazy.
Mm, Sean's muted. I'm about to mute myself and let's. And how about you try to talk and let's see if it's still there.
Okay, no, it's gone. But yeah, just how messy we is, I would think that they would be the ones to show that he is doing it, and they haven't done that yet. So that's why I'm like, who else is he connected to that's connected to her? And then looking at Brand, well, I know we haven't talked about Branwyn and little stalker dude, but he apparently hacks into all her stuff. So how do we know she's not doing that? That she's that obsessed since that's his trick. That's her trick. So I guess we just have a little more time to see what else is really going on.
Yeah, I don't know, but I guess maybe it'll unfold for us soon. Yeah, so Chaz and Bronwyn were going to be the next couple that we're going to talk about. So we see that
wait a minute.
Branwyn, it picked up right
Hold
at the
on.
end.
I didn't give my opinion.
Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Yes, Sean,
I
you did
see,
not.
that's what I'm talking about. Because his name's
Victim.
Sean, you just gonna disrespect all the Sean's out there, huh? Sean can't
No.
get no love. Sean can't get no love. Oh, okay, then there ain't no
Now
problem.
I want to hear your thoughts on them.
Mm. Johnny, just make sure you text me her number tomorrow, okay? Uh,
If it's okay with Nene, I will do that.
I promise you, I ain't gonna stab her. But yeah, they because I was thinking we gave up the number, the information, because I was thinking about how the wedding, Deontay, when he had crashed your girl's wedding, because I was like, I know he didn't get an invitation, so I don't remember if he saw it online or I'm thinking we must have dropped him that information, So that was my whole thought on that one. But and if not we, I'm thinking it could be Sarah, not Sarah, the Kelly, the because didn't she know Destiny?
I think they know each other, but I don't believe they got along though. But then of course if their plan is to get Sarah out of the picture, I mean why that's another reason why they could come together.
Yeah, because obviously he's giving Kelly money. So if Sarah comes along, then that goes the money
Yeah.
train.
But he actually turned his back on his kids when he was with Destiny because he wasn't even helping Kelly. He was actually borrowing money from Kelly.
Oh, he was okay. Yeah. Oh well. But because then too, listening to today's episode, not today, but yesterday's episode, the way that because he did give her money, and he want the kids to come, but the
Hmm.
only way the kids can come, what she says, if she can come along too. So I'm like, maybe he has been asking her to let the kids come and visit, but he has to go through so much stuff with her in order to get the kids. So he's like, I'm not going to go through all that hassle. So
Right.
I just don't understand, because they're confusing me on my opinion of Sean because, it's like a roller coaster. I like him and then I feel sorry for him. And then I was like, nah, dude, you just a bum. But then listening to how Kelly's acting, I was like, well, maybe there's something to the way he treats her. Now, I'm not saying that he should not have taken care of his kids, you know. And then you're saying that from what you have seen in the past, he has been borrowing money from her to give to Destiny and not take care of the kids. So you do have a record of not doing that. But I'm saying at least he's trying, and maybe she's making it hard for him. And because she know how he is, he's not a fighter, so he'll just go along to get along, and be like, okay, whatever, and then just leave it be. Now, Sarah, like Johnny pointed out, that could be the reason why she acts the way she acts towards Kelly, you know, because she sees all of that because she's there 24/7. But while it was going on, the episode was going on, and she was acting the way she was acting towards him about Kelly, the thoughts that kept on coming to my mind was how you always say, wait till that baby drop, me, and see, then you'll see for sure. And then now what I was thinking too, I was like, so this here marriage don't work, and you go left and he goes right, and the baby is born, then you going to see, she's going to experience all the stuff that Kelly had to go through, but she just going to experience it one time because I don't know if he have truly changed to where if they're not together, he would take care of his baby and the mom. And even if she was to put him on child support, he still has to give money to the other kids, so she might not get as much as she think that she deserves. So yeah, my thoughts on them is up and down because that's the way they feel like they play his mindset because I really don't understand their relationship. And then too for Destiny, now even though she don't know Destiny is in the picture, my thing is why would you want to go and crash their wedding? Also, yeah, that is your what you call it?
Her trick.
Yeah, that is your trick, and you want, but you haven't gotten anything from your trick yet. So you go crash the wedding. He's not going to give you anything, you know. So you don't gain anything except for you just don't want to see him happy. That's the only thing I just
She don't want to see another woman taking her money.
so yeah, so it is going to be interesting because I think she's going to crash it because she just looked like that type of person. So
Yeah.
and two, dealing with we, I'm pretty sure we is in the background. It's like yeah, crash it. We're gonna give you a little
Yeah.
extra money, crash it. You know, so because to me we is kind of shady, but two
They
also
are. They
yeah.
are. So they're going to figure out a way to get her because, like, Destiny lives in California and then he's in Ohio. So if Destiny ends up there, I'm pretty sure it's because of we.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure he's not going to send her any money to fly to California. I mean, from
Yeah, he,
California.
yeah, he's. Or at least I hope he would not. Just like I'm hoping that while she was in jail, he wasn't sending her anything.
Yeah. Ooh, if it come out that he was, then he's going to have issues with Sarah. So, and two, that apartment they live in is a two-bedroom, right?
Hmm.
So that means the baby's going to share. Well, they probably going to have to move. Yeah, they're going to have to move because I don't see her wanting him to have both kids in one room. I think she's going to want both her children to have their own room. You know, so he needs to save all the money he can and take care of his responsibilities because those are his children. Yeah, that's it.
Okay. All right. So we'll just move on to Chaz and Branwyn. So we see that Branwyn, actually, we catch the tail end of her watching Chaz's um, concert, if you want to call it that, or his show. We catch that, and it pans out where we see that Branwyn is actually at Aaron's house. Hmm. The strict probation she's supposed to be on, but she's over there at Aaron's house. And so the two of them, they talk about Chaz, and they talk about their previous relationship and her daughter. They also talk about that. She talks about how her daughter was, what, 5 months old when she caught a charge, and she's just expressing her thoughts about moving to Kentucky with Aaron. So basically, Branwyn doesn't really want to leave, but she feels like it's for the best for her. We see her, she has a conversation with her daughter, and she's asking her daughter what her daughter think about Chaz. Her daughter is very diplomatic. She doesn't say anything bad about Chaz or anything. She really doesn't say very much about him. and she's telling her daughter, she'd like to go out to Kentucky and make a better life for herself, and hopefully she can send for her. Maybe her daughter can move there, or if she wants to go to school, can come there. She'd be able to help her. And she was just saying she wants to help her daughter now, but she doesn't have a way of really helping her. And so then after that scene, we see that Chaz and Bran, when they're having a virtual date, just cute. And so Chaz is drinking, but Branwen says she's not allowed to drink while she's on probation, so she will not be partaking in any drinking on her end of their date. And so, he's there drinking champagne. He's telling her how beautiful she is, and he can't wait to see her because I guess they're seeing each other next week. And he's like, I can't wait to be like laying next to you. And you could tell she's uncomfortable because she's not returning his sentiments. She's not returning it at all. She doesn't seem touched by anything that he's saying. She's just kind of looking at the screen like. But so you could tell she's still uncomfortable, and she also lies to him about spending time with Aaron because he asked her point blank, "Have you seen Aaron?" And she's like, "No, but you were just at his house a few days ago, a week ago, whatever it was." So I want to hear y'all tell me what you think of Brandon and Chaz this week.
Question right quick.
Mm-hmm.
Johnny, you have pointed out that uh, Chaz is hacking into her stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, they showed that
To
on
her,
some.
that's what she said. Branwen said that she'll get notifications that someone's trying to log in onto her email or log into her GPS, and she knows it's him. So she's nervous that he's going to find out that she is out with Aaron because he is that jealous.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah,
know
that's
that.
what she said at the front. She actually would tell him the truth if
You
he didn't
think so?
act like such a ugh.
You think so? Because I just don't.
I
Because
think she would tell him the truth. I think she would. She's already told him that she has male friends. And he doesn't like that. I mean, I think she's feeling like she has to hide the stuff because she doesn't want to deal with baby whiny pants. So,
I
Baby whiny pants.
yeah, I think she hiding it because now I'm starting to see her as she just using him as her escape plan. And not only to get her out of Seattle, but to get her daughter too, because how she had asked the daughter, what made the comment about you can come down to Kentucky and I can help you with your school and all that type of stuff. But the daughter don't wants to because the daughter wants to live her life and where she at because she's comfortable and happy. So, but you go down there and Chad's gonna take care of you, and that's all he is an opportunity to get away from where you at. She gets settled, and then she probably just dump him quick, fast, in a hurry, and because she's gotten away from that past environment to get to a new environment, because there's no uh, chemistry, as we done said in the past. And to me, I don't think she wanted with him, and I don't think she's going to make the effort to because he talking all that like he's coming there, he's gonna get some. He's gonna be in a rude awakening when he get there because she's gonna have another panic attack, and he's gonna be hurt, and then he's gonna go back, and the boys at the band gonna be like, "Whoa, wait a minute now, that's twice you don't went up there and you ain't got none. Yeah, she's giving it to
Oh,
someone else, and she might not be giving it to anybody else, but they're gonna play on that, and because us people, us boys get together, and all women too, because if your man ain't giving it to you, you gonna think that he's giving it to someone else, and
yeah.
so people in general tend to think that so and then you got someone adding fuel to it now you're gonna be thinking even more so. And since he's hacking and he find out that okay, she is at a boy's house and she spent this much time there, he that's gonna add to his uh
Security.
concerns. And that's gonna make him believe even more so that old
Yeah.
boy's eating the cookies and I'm up here making the dough, paying for the dough, and he's getting to eat the cookies. So that ain't cool. And to me, I don't feel sorry for her because she just
No.
has another panic attack. She, just cry her
Oh
way.
yeah, she's definitely gonna have a panic attack when you're not even comfortable on the phone with him, when he starts expressing himself, expressing
Mhm.
his feelings and stuff, and you're not even clearly you're not even comfortable. You're not into that man at all.
No, no, and it's not like she's pretty. You see her on the thing, and even coming off of the streams, like you're a pretty woman. So that whole I don't feel comfortable with myself. I'm tired of that excuse. She
Yeah.
need to come up with something else. Come up with something else.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said before, last season, she had a chemistry with him. She did, because she wouldn't have wanted him to come and pick her up. She was so excited. Like, it's so funny because you look at when they first met in person, or actually got to hug, she was so excited. She was so ready to get married to him and be with him. They looked cute. He didn't to me, but she just was like
You had to
totally.
add that in there,
I did. I'm
huh?
sorry, because now when I see him, I just think of But
Oh,
you
whiny
just look at
pants.
that old baby whiny pants. That's what I'm calling him. So you
Mm-mm-mm.
just think of how they were, right? That first meeting, she was into him. She totally was. But then his insecurities kicked in, and then she had to constantly keep defending, well, I do have a lot of male friends, well, I do have this, I do have that, and well, I don't like this. And then of course, didn't he confront one of her male friends and tell him that he don't need to hang around her like that anymore?
Yeah, he
Like,
pulled him to the side.
yeah, like, you're totally bugging here because of your insecurities, not because I did anything to make you insecure, but because you were just insecure that I'm the one who's very pretty and attractive, and you feel like you shouldn't be with me, therefore you're throwing your insecurities on me, which is making me uncomfortable. Because
Mm-hmm.
if you're already acting that way just based on looks, what you gonna do when I give you some?
And
He is going to lose his mind.
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
when,
Like, I
that's
don't
when
want.
that's when you said that she had the chemistry when she first met. That very day she should have gave him some right then and there that day, and
That
there
day.
had no problems. They
But
had no
they
problems.
couldn't, right? They couldn't.
Uh-uh.
They
Mm-mm.
couldn't, right?
Yeah,
Because
because
she had
she
to
had
get
to
to the
go to
halfway
the
house.
probation officer or
Mm-mm.
whatever. Uh-huh.
There's a will, there's a way. Because if she
Yeah,
would have
just
put it
hurry up,
like
hop
that
in that
on
truck
him,
and get your little
uh-huh.
30 seconds on, because he don't look like he lasts longer than 2 minutes.
Oh no,
Get your
let me
little
tell you,
two
I
minute on and go
promise you.
on about your business.
Look, Johnny, I would place money on a bet. He is not blowing out backs. I'm
No,
sorry.
he's not.
It ain't
No, he's
happening.
falling.
It doesn't matter whether he blow the mattress or backs out. If she would have just gave him
It
her,
does
if
It
matter.
she
You
does
gotta be
matter.
able to
He is
blow
no,
out
following
no,
his
some
no.
rules.
backs.
You ain't y'all ain't
And I know he ain't.
He is
He has
y'all
following his
ain't
never
hearing
rules.
blown out a back.
y'all ain't hearing me. I'm saying if she just would have gave him the 30 seconds at that moment or whenever, the minute or whatever,
Okay.
from that moment on, this whole relationship would have been
But
different.
yeah,
Because
but
he
you
would
know
have
what
been
the
like,
problem is?
yeah, I got some, I'm good. She would
Yeah,
have
see,
waited.
that's the
She would have
problem.
been
She didn't. So now it's been some time. So now he needs to come through the door blowing her back out. But I don't think he knows how.
good.
He's not going to be able to blow her
Now
back
he
out
has to
because
overperform.
he's
I'm
so,
sorry.
he's so disgusting. That's the part that's hard. Like, when it's
Is it?
insecurity, and then it's sitting there, and as soon as you touch my lips, I'm feeling your tongue before your lips. Like, it becomes gross. I feel for her. I totally feel for her. I hope she might come up with a COVID excuse this time, just so she can social
That's a good one. Yeah.
But
don't have
that's
to
the
prove
case.
it. You know what? Now it's monkeypox. I would just put like some little blisters on my face.
No,
It looked like I had
You
monkeypox.
know what?
no,
I watch plenty of movies. There's miracles with makeup. She can make
Yeah,
it work.
there
no,
totally is.
no. Yeah, she
She's
ain't
gonna
got to
have to
go through
come
all
up with
that.
something in 5 days. So we'll see what she comes up with. Because
Yeah,
she can't
if she
have
don't.
panic attacks.
Yeah. I know. Look, been there, done that. We bought the T-shirt with the panic attack. Okay, we're done. No more panic attacks.
No more panic attacks. And then too, that's where I get really upset with, and that's even with my frustrations in dating now. Read the freaking room. There is nothing
Yes.
about what I'm. You, we're all telling that she is not looking forward to you coming over and pawing her and licking all over her face. She's not
All
looking
right.
forward to it.
He's not.
But he's not even paying attention that she's not looking forward to it, because if he really paid attention, then he would see, like, you know what, every time I say this, she gets uncomfortable. Maybe I need to figure out a way to make her comfortable. Think about how to make her comfortable instead of pawing your little baby
He's
hands
not
on
thinking
her.
about that. He is so happy that he has a hot wife because you
Yeah,
realize he says that all the time.
all the
This is
time.
what this is all about. He just wants somebody hot on his arm.
Yeah, he's totally lost the connection that they had, and it's turned it into this physical obsession, and it's gross. Grow
Yeah.
up.
No, she need to lay down. That's what she needs to do. He don't need to grow up. He ain't got to grow
He
up.
needs
She
to
needs
grow
to
up,
lay
read
down.
the room,
Lay
and let
down
this
one
woman
time.
get with him when she's ready, and stop being so insecure.
What he
No.
needs to
Insecurity
be
is
doing
such
is
a huge turn
practicing.
off.
You see,
Yeah, he needs to be
just how you
practicing.
said, no, just how you said you
Sean,
don't want to ego, stroke that man's ego. He don't want to have to go through all that to be trying.
look,
He
Sean,
wants
what
to say
he
what he's saying what's need to be said. Woman, lay down. It's time.
no,
Let's
Sean,
We
what
are
go.
he
not
needs
back
to
in the
do.
1800s where
Let's
just
go.
because you're married, you get to rape me.
No,
Look,
it's not
Sean.
rape. It ain't rape because she's crying.
Look,
He's the one crying. She ain't crying. He's the one crying.
You're
So he's
right. He
like,
is going to
so,
cry once he gets his tip in there.
so Sean, I'm going to tell you what he needs to do. Okay, this is the advice that I have for him. Okay. What
uh-huh.
he needs to do is get his practice on so that when she does finally lay down and give him some pity sex, that he can please her and make her want to do it again. So the very first thing he needs to do is he needs to talk to his fellow castmate, Deontay, and see if he can borrow little Nicole. He needs some
He gonna need to get a shovel first.
I was gonna say little Nicole. I was gonna say little Nicole is probably a little bit too big for him. He probably needs he
Uh,
needs a one of
hmm.
those mini vacuums or something. 'Cause
I just know he needs to
No,
do some practicing.
no. He gonna shock because his rocker side gonna come out. His rocker
okay,
side, the rocker side. You know.
I
Yeah.
don't think
I
so.
think there's a
Those
difference in a
rock
20
sex
year
and
old rocker
rock
and
and
then a 50-year-old rocker.
roll. Drug, sex, and rock and roll. You see, all that goes together. So he knows what
Because
he doing.
look, we know Chaz is not. What's the guy from Aerosmith? He's no Steven Tyler here.
No, he's not.
there's a difference
Not at all.
there.
Like
So
I
yeah,
said, he's little
Uh,
baby whiny pants.
Mm, mm, mm. Well, she married to him, and she need to give him his stuff.
No,
She
she
need to
does
give,
not need
oh,
to do
Sean,
yeah,
anything.
she need to give him his stuff.
All
That's
she
he
needs
right.
to
does.
do, what
Half
she
is
needs to
his.
do, is take a
That's his
Xanax.
body too.
She needs to take a Xanax, and then
Mm-mm.
she just needs to lay there and blow
No.
on it. Once she blows
Then
on it, he'll be
what?
fine.
What?
Yeah, I think once she take her panties off, he'll.
He's gonna come on top of it. He's not even gonna make it in the hole.
No, he's not gonna make it in the home. He's
No.
gonna be in that crack between her legs, thinking he really
Yeah,
doing
and think
something.
it's yeah. She's there.
No. No. Don't do that to my man. Don't do
Just
that.
sit there and blow on it. Just blow on it, Brandwin. You'll be fine.
Yeah, look, just take your clothes off, leave your bra and panties on, give him a hand job. He'll get off in 30 seconds, and you'll be done.
You'll be
Mm-mm-mm.
good. You
You
will
need to let
totally
it
be
go.
good.
Then she need to let it go in.
That's it.
She need to let it go. She don't want him. Let him go.
No, he needs to let it go.
No, no, because what's the purpose of getting married if you ain't gonna have sex? They should just stay boyfriend girlfriend,
Yeah, he shouldn't have married her.
right? So he needs to just say, hey, she needs to be like, hey, this ain't working out for me.
Yeah, they can easily get it annulled because they haven't
So
what's named it.
right,
Consummated it.
Yeah,
right,
so go ahead and get it annulled because
and
his
let it go.
insecurities aren't going anywhere.
No,
And
it's not. It's not.
they're
And
just
that's
gonna
the
get
thing.
worse if she does
Yeah.
sleep with him.
And that's
If
the
she does
thing.
sleep with him, it's just gonna get worse.
Because she sees him as her ticket out of there.
Yeah,
So she
he's
don't
gonna
want
be
to let him go. She
that
can
has
find
like
somebody else.
when they're walking around, he's got to be right there under her boob because he's
Hmm.
little baby whiny pants. It's
Let it
constantly have to have both arms wrapped around her so everybody knows that she's with him. It's just disgusting.
Yeah.
I don't feel bad for her in the sense of her getting in trouble or being busted and lying, but I just think that his insecurities and the way he acts has totally ruined things for her. I don't because she knew what he looked like. She knew everything about him before, and when you replay that one moment when they got out and when she got out and all that good stuff, she was totally feeling him and he just
Hmm.
messed it up.
well, cause I'm like just seeing how he is the way he is, and I'm thinking he had to been that way the whole time she was in prison too. Cause I don't think that's something he just turned on as soon as they got out and the first time they met and then all that conversation, whatever took place. I'm pretty sure he was doing all that whining while she was in prison as well.
I'm with Johnny on this one. I think
He was.
she,
He
I
talked to
don't
her.
know that he was doing all of the whining because when
No,
she
he
got
was.
out, she did seem into it.
Yeah.
So I think some of this whiny stuff happened afterwards. He's whining because he didn't get any. He
He's
didn't get
whining
any of
because
the
he didn't
cookie.
get any. That's exactly right. And it's
Mm-mm.
like, oh, you didn't give me any, please. Let me look on your face more.
No,
Like,
no,
You know something, Johnny?
no,
That was messy. That was messy what you just did. I like it. Do it one more time.
no,
oh,
no.
let
He
me
was
look on
acting the
your
way he
ear.
was
Just let me
acting.
get to your neck. Please, please.
Mm-mm-mm.
I brought this stool so I can get to
You know?
your neck.
Oh,
No,
gosh. You won't let me get past
no.
your lips. Let me lick your face some more.
Mhm.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he talked about sex with her while they was on those prison phone calls, and he probably said everything that he was going to do, and she probably went along with it because it sounded good.
Because she was into it at the time. I
She
Yeah.
do
was
believe she
into
was
it.
into it.
So she
Yeah.
probably was into that whining man, and then when
Hmm.
she got out and she saw her ex next to the whining man, and then she probably was like, "Oh no, I don't know if I want this here." But she
Now
should have married the guy. She shouldn't.
let
She should have let it go right then and there.
let's also talk about how drugs mess you up. Did you see how her ex looked in the other pictures? He was a good looking dude. And then you look at him now and he just looked like, I mean, I don't know what kind of drugs he was on, but that is not the same guy in those pictures.
Right.
His skin is horrible. And she does look at him kind of gross. Like she's not looking at him like she wants to be with him. Um, I just I don't know. I don't know how you can get over the insecurity. I know in my last relationship, when he would show his insecurities, that would be a turnoff. And it'd be hard to get back into it. So I don't know how she's going to be able to get over getting into the onto it. She just needs to put a paper bag over his head, maybe even tie up his hands, do her thing. That
Mm,
way,
mm,
he ain't even got to touch her. He ain't even got to have that tongue licking on her. Just
mm, mm, mm.
get it over with.
If she, if she got
Yeah.
to go through all that, she might as well just go get the annulment and let
She
it
should get the I think
go.
she should get the annulment. I think she's trying, but it's just not working. You're not comfortable.
Yeah, she's
No,
not.
she's not. She's not.
Yeah,
Mm,
she definitely isn't. I'm not sure how she can get back to that place. I think maybe once she gets to Kentucky, it is just them two.
mm,
Hopefully, he lives in a rural area, so it will truly be maybe just those two. Maybe they can get back to where they were. I don't,
no.
Mhm.
but I don't even know if in that situation that they'd be able to. But I know as
No.
long as she has her friends and families to help give her that doubt in her head. Well, is he sexy? Does he have a six pack? How big is the D? It's not going to work.
No, because I don't think going to Kentucky is going to solve the problem
Mm-mm.
because every time she get on the phone, he gonna be wondering who you on the phone with. You
That's
know,
true.
that he's gonna be tripping on that. So
He's
I,
gonna have a tighter leash on her there because she knows nobody. And
right.
that's like the worst position she really should put herself in, because
Yeah.
that really might put her to where she'd start using drugs again, because she would be alone. She would
Mhm.
truly be alone, and that's just not the headspace she needs to be in.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why I don't think she should go to Kentucky just to be escaping and using him as the way out. Uh, she can, and then the friends is no good because all the stuff that they're talking about is physical, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So that's not going to help because obviously he don't. What whiny pants, Captain Whiny Pants? What
Yeah,
is he?
baby whiny pants.
Baby whiny pants. So, so baby whiny pants is not going to pass the physical test. So can't go down there for physical, and she's not physically attracted to him.
And
So
he could totally be that way, but it's really about his confidence. It's about being secure in the relationship you're in. And that's where he lacks. And that's where you see, like, oh, you're not that cute. I
yeah.
mean, he could totally be cuter if he was a little more secure.
Mm-hmm.
But that's too why it goes with he had to been this way the whole time, even when she was in prison, because
Well,
a
no, he
person
was
just
secure
don't
when
leave
she was
her.
in prison because there was no men. There was no
There was no
Aaron around.
men.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He wasn't worried about all her male friends. It's like as
Mm,
soon as he saw that dude there, her ex, and she totally ignored him. That was the other part. You saw that she had nothing to say to that man. She went straight to you, and you still were insecure. And even when he sat there and confronted the other guy, she was on you, but you had the nerve to feel like you had to tell this other guy he needed to back off. And you know it's not like he didn't tell her. He had to have told her. So
Yeah.
that starts going your own thing. Like, dude, I have male friends. And just because they're taller than you, I don't want to hear, yeah, you can't be friends with somebody who's an inch taller than me. Like, get over it. You're small. I can have 6 foot friends. I'm
uh,
tall.
I don't know. I don't know. It depends on what type of friendship you have and how close you all are with with your male friend. Because I can see if we was together and you have a whole bunch of male friends, I might not like that. You know, because
Well,
to
you
me,
know,
you want to go to your male friend because you got that relationship with them.
there's probably
Now,
also that
if you,
whole.
uh-huh.
I was gonna say there's probably also that whole insecurity that he knows in the bedroom. These men are probably better than him. They're probably tigers in the bed. And what is he in bed? He's a rabbit. Just
Have
hunching
you
away.
watched Rabbit Screw? It's the funniest thing. And some of them actually die afterwards. So if he is a rabbit,
It's the funniest, fastest thing you're going to see in your life.
Mm,
it is
mm,
fast. But he also has to remember she hasn't slept with all of them. And I think that's a very bad conception on you to feel like she slept with every man that she's friends with. She hasn't slept with them and she doesn't want to. The one guy he confronted, she didn't sleep with him. They were just friends. And he was the one who didn't he
He
help her
was
with her
like with one
daughter?
of her family members, right?
Right. He was
Yeah.
helping her with her daughter and stuff. Like
uh-huh.
he's been in her daughter's life since she was little and they never screwed.
But he's insecure, and I think he feels like sexually he's not um
I don't think it's sexually he feels
equally.
sick.
Yeah,
He's
I think
probably
he, I think
insecure.
he has that in the back of his mind.
He's probably insecure because of stuff that happened to him in his past. You know,
Yeah,
he had a past.
probably
That
women in the
wasn't
past have told
Cheated.
him, like, you know what, look, you're over here acting like a jackrabbit right now. Calm
Mm-mm.
down, calm down.
No, because
And that's stuck in
he
his
has
head.
kids, so it can't be sexual. He got other issues going on with him. Yeah. Mm-mm.
Okay.
Yeah. Can
She
we move
needs
on to someone else?
Have you seen Aaron lately?
no. We ain't going nowhere. No.
Oh
Uh,
god.
she need to move on. Just tell him I'm done. That's what she
He
need to do.
he really does. He should be reading the room and he should even just say, I can feel that you're not feeling me like this. And and it's fine, but I can't keep handling your rejection. Maybe
Right.
that's what he needs to say. You keep rejecting me and I don't understand why.
Yep, that's a good way to put it. Maybe we need to try to get him with Anissa. I know Anissa's old face, but she was giving it up.
Yes,
At least he would
she
get
has
laid
the
there.
meat refrigerator.
Man.
She have plenty of meat for him. Uh,
Yeah, yeah, she do.
uh,
Yeah, even though she isn't properly storing her meat, I mean, it is
uh,
good. Alrighty, so our next couple is Puppy and Amber. So we see Amber is not Amber. Puppy is out of jail. Last time we saw her, she was heading into jail. So she's actually out. And then we see, I thought it was just so sweet and cute. Amber's parents were married like when she was born. They separated, went their separate ways, and now they have reunited. And and Amber performed the wedding ceremony. So I thought that was cute. Um, And so Puppy had been invited because if you guys remember, well, I don't know if y'all were watching it then, but Puppy, Amber, and Amber's mom, they did prison time together, like literally in the same prison together, right? And so she does know Puppy, and so Puppy was invited to the ceremony. She shows up late, and like the whole ceremony kind of stops and is like looking at her because she's walking in. She's got shoes. She's looking a mess walking in. Alrighty. And so, of course, Puppy shows up late. They go on with the evening and the reception. And so Amber, Puppy, and then one of their old prison friends are sitting at a table and they're talking. And they're all kind of getting on to Puppy about Eric, right? Puppy's boyfriend or fiance, and they're just kind of telling her, they've got an eye on her and on him, and she can do better. Just saying a lot of things. She really ain't trying to hear, but she's just listening to him go on. And so at one point, that same lady that was in prison with them is having a conversation with Puppy and Eric. And she's like, I got my eyes on you. You act a little suspect, just saying things like this. So Eric gets upset and he actually leaves Puppy at the reception. So now we've seen him a second time ditch her somewhere. No, no, no. Last time it was Amber's boyfriend
It
that
was
left her,
Amber's
right?
boyfriend, yeah.
Okay. Well, so this is Eric's first time. So he gets up and he leaves her there. And, and was it Amber? I was about to switch up their names. So Amber comes over to her, and she notices that something's going on with her. So she ends up hugging her and trying to comfort her, make her feel better. Alrighty, so Puppy and Amber this week. Thoughts?
I just think, I mean, we didn't know last year he was married.
Oh yes, I forgot about that part. So they do talk about the fact that Eric is currently married to somebody.
So I think when he ended up leaving her while she was in prison, went to
Mm-hmm.
Vegas, maybe there was a rekindling there. And he obviously doesn't like being called out.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because in all honesty, it's Puppy who should be asking these questions or wondering what's he up to. And she feels the distance, but it's like she's trying to hold on to it for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't know what more there is there. Cool. Cool that the parents were able to reunite and with each other for the rest of their lives. But no buts there. But it's just crazy how you can feel comfortable telling your friends the issues in your relationship, but not telling the person you're with.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she should just come out and ask him, "Are y'all still? Did y'all rekindle your marriage while I was in prison?
Yeah.
Because you've been different." And he even talks to her differently, and he's not patient with her like he was before. So, just seems like he's moved on.
Yeah.
yeah, I can agree with that. And I do think too that it should be Puppy one that's going to him and asking the question. Because I can see for Eric's point of view, uh, your friends constantly talking to me about us and constantly saying, I'm watching you. You need to make
Yeah,
sure,
because her friend was out of line.
yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
that's a little bit too much. Uh, I understand as a friend why you would do that, but yeah, uh, can't do it in every situation.
Hmm.
To probably don't tell him, but tell you, they could have told Puppy, yeah, we watching just to be, make sure that he ain't doing nothing out of the ordinary, and we got your back. Go that route instead of talking to him. Because especially from Amber, if it comes from Amber, because I'm like, what is your angle? Because to me, when she was talking, I don't know, not saying that she was talking to him, to Eric about it, but when she was talking and she was like, they just don't seem right. It just, how she was expressing herself about their relationship. And I was like, well, if you was just a friend, maybe I would hold what you say some weight to what you say, but you kind of want her, and you want her to be available when you want her. Because when
Yeah.
she moved on to herself and she got her man, she didn't want the girl, But then once her man out the picture, now all of a sudden you want Puppy. So you want Puppy not to be in a relationship because you want her to be on standby. So
Yeah, for you. Yeah. So sometimes Amber comes off like the girl version of Kevin to me.
yeah, yeah. So that's why I'm like, I don't hold no weight to what she said.
Yeah.
And I'm not a believer in leaving someone somewhere that you had brought them. I
Right.
don't think that's cool, uh, and especially if there's no bus, and you don't know if that person has secured a ride. So that's your ride. You responsible for that individual. You got that person there. You responsible to get that person back to where you got that individual. Unless it's something real hectic, y'all got into a big old fight, and I can understand you leaving, because there's violence involved. But because you're uncomfortable with the situation, be like, hey, I'm ready to go, then that other person should be like, okay, let's go, or go secure a ride and then leave. Don't just leave that person stranded.
Right. And then it's like you're allowing everyone there to know that y'all have had some kind of tussle or something. Not, I don't want to say tussle because that insinuates that hands
Mhm.
were touched, but that y'all had some kind of disagreement. And I'm not real big on fighting with my spouse around other people. That's not something I feel is appropriate because it makes other people around you feel uncomfortable,
Mhm.
and this is going on in a public thing where the conversation it could have been had at y'all's house later.
Right.
To be honest, I don't believe that he should have left her. I don't feel like anything was said to him or about him that should have justified him leaving her there. So we got Reese talking to us. Hey.
Hey, Reese.
So yeah, so that was one thing. I feel like he was acting real childish and real. I don't know. I didn't care for it at all. Now like I said, I can understand him feeling some type of way about the girls saying things to him, but to just leave Puppy there, I
Yeah.
didn't hear anything said that should have made you that mad.
Right. Right.
Hmm.
So, but two, I didn't know he was married also because I was like, married? Yeah, that's kind of weird. Why would you? Well, people do whatever they're gonna do. But in propose to the girl, if you know you already got somebody, at least wait till your marriage has been legally dissolved before you move on to the next one. Because now
Right.
he has to wait for that one to be dissolved and for him to be married. Because if not, he just committed a crime. So uh,
Right. Because they were supposed to go to Vegas and elope, right?
right.
Yeah.
So how are you going to elope if he's legally married?
Uh huh.
Hmm.
So yeah,
So,
yeah. So that's just what you call it. And have he ever told her that before?
You know what? I have the feeling when they were talking about eloping, I don't think she knew he was married. But I saw some things on Facebook where some people were exposing him and stuff. And at that point, it was obvious that Puppy did know because like she had commented like on some pictures and some statuses and stuff like that.
Hmm.
But the internet is ruthless. They did find the wife.
Right.
Um, so her Facebook, got bombarded and things, and people were screenshotting things. So I know at that point, but that was after last season when that happened. That happened like during the break of all of this.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Well, and she didn't know he knew. So how you gonna elope like Johnny said? You know you
right.
married.
You couldn't elope with that girl. So Reese says, yeah, he is married. I understand the friends being mad at him. Especially if he's being shady, I do understand it. I just don't necessarily know that that was the time and place to kind of bring it up to him. He mad at the questions, but got a whole wife. That's true. He does have a whole wife. So, I mean, it doesn't look like he's trying to get a divorce, but I don't know if you are. Hey, I don't understand why he couldn't have said that to the friend when the friend asked, like, well, I'm getting a divorce, so what does that matter? I'm in the process. We filed.
Yeah, that's all that. I know it depends on what state you're in. I know in North Carolina you separate for a year.
Yeah.
You you
Yeah, it depends on what state they're in. Yeah.
so
Sometimes you have to be separated for a year, and just different things like that. So yeah. So it just depends upon the state. But hey, if he truly wants to divorce her, he should have at least started the first step.
yeah, do the first step.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so that was our last couple. I was disappointed. I don't know about you guys, but I want to see Brittany and Ray and see what's going on. Um, I'm wanting to know what is going on. I know a lot of things have gone on social media with them, but I want to know what are they going to show us? What have they been up to?
hmm. Yeah, it was because I was still shocked that they on there because I was like, didn't he cheat and supposedly cheated? And I thought that would have been the end of the marriage.
Yeah, so I'm ready to see them, see what they got to say, see what they do or they don't say. I wanted to see them. I felt
Yeah.
like they could have skipped a couple of the couples and got us Brittany and Ray. So hopefully we'll see them next week. So you need to
I
make
also
some
want to see
content.
how did he cheat. That's what you need to say because did she have him on lockdown?
Exactly. He
uh,
had all these locations put on him and everything else.
mm-hmm.
Mhm.
It had to been at the job. He's putting in that work.
Absolutely. Okay, so do we have any other questions, comments, concerns about the other couples that we saw in this episode? No.
Yep.
Alrighty then. Well, I guess we will go here. Thank you for joining us. And as usual, go ahead and click that like button before you leave. Also hit the subscribe button so you'll know when we're live and you come check us out. All right, so I will let you guys go for this week and we'll see you next week and have a good time. Have a great weekend. And until next time, friends.